The Andaz Peninsula Papagayo Resort in Costa Rica is an absolutely beautiful Hyatt property. It's especially nice because they treat Hyatt globalists very well at this resort. But each year, Hyatt does a category reorganization, and this resort is now a Category 8 property, costing 40,000 Hyatt points per night. Is it still worth it? In this video, I'm sharing a full review of the Andaz Costa Rica Resort at Papagayo Peninsula, a stunning Hyatt property that's been a hidden gem in the World of Hyatt program. When I stayed here, I was able to lock in a rate of 29,000 points per night, but at the new standard rate, now jumping to 40,000 points, let's break down if it's still worth your hard-earned points. The resort is about 45 minutes away from Liberia Airport. The Peninsula Papagayo area is gated, secure, and lush. The resort provides complimentary golf cart shuttles to get around the hilly terrain. It's also a great launch pad for excursions like zip lining, ATV tours, and hot springs can be booked through the concierge. The moment you arrive, the Andaz vibe is unmistakable. Laid back, luxury wrapped in Costa Rican charm. The open-air lobby makes you feel like you're in a modern treehouse. We were immediately greeted by the valet who took our rental car keys from us and held our luggage to be delivered to our room. We were welcomed with cold towels that smelled like tropical flowers, and were provided with a welcome drink of natural coconut water. We were able to sit down and enjoy the view while the staff processed our check-in. The staff is super helpful and nice, and it immediately set the tone for the rest of the stay. I originally booked the Forest View room, which is our basic room. Being a globalist, I received an upgrade to the next level room, which was the Bay View room. My room had sweeping views of the Culebra Bay, floor-to-ceiling windows, local artisan design details, and a rainfall shower that had a door to open up onto the balcony for a partial outdoor showering experience. The minibar is complimentary and stocked with local snacks and non-alcoholic drinks, which is a nice touch. Everything is included except for alcoholic options. We also had a welcome gift in our room of a large brownie, fruit basket, and homemade coconut ball candies. I'm a major foodie and I love free food, so I was all about that. The room was also fully stocked with filtered water bottles, so I never had to worry about being dehydrated, which is like kind of an irrational fear that I have when I travel. One time I packed an entire case of water whenever we went to Egypt because I didn't know how easy it would be to access water. Anyways, that's not an issue here. Plenty of fresh water. The resort also has 2 infinity pools and 1 adults-only pool that's tucked into the hillside, all surrounded by jungle. There's also a full-service spa with open-air treatment rooms and a tranquil vibe. We didn't partake in the spa because that's not really my thing. I tend to do more exploration on vacations versus relaxation. They have 2 beaches. One you can access by going down a bunch of wooden stairs. It's pretty and has some loungers and chairs. It's very jungly. The other beach is our beach club, and you can access that by speedboat, which was really fun. The boat ride is free and takes about 10 minutes each way. Once you walk down the first beach, you wait there for the speedboat to pick you up, and then it takes you to the beach club. The beach club is definitely the nicer beach in my opinion. They have their own infinity pool and restaurant, as well as several chairs and loungers. We never had an issue finding somewhere to sit, and there was always shade available from the multiple trees on the beach. The beach club is situated right in the jungle, and we often saw monkeys hanging from the trees while we were lounging on the beach recliners, and that was so surreal because you just felt like you were in the middle of nature. And one day, I actually counted 15 monkeys in the trees over our heads. And there was actually one day that a boa constrictor came onto the beach and was curled up right under a beach lounger. I hate snakes, and so I wasn't a fan of that. I was literally about to sit down on that lounger without knowing that the snake was there until I saw comfier loungers in a row behind that looked more appealing. So thank God I didn't sit on the snake seat. But anyways, the staff was great. They noticed that the snake was kind of generating a bunch of attention, and so they had it removed from the property promptly. There are lots of activities to keep you occupied at this property. They have kayaks, paddleboards, guided nature walks, and wildlife sightings. And Costa Rica is definitely a place where you want to bring your binoculars as there's so much wildlife to see. Actually, one of the staff members told us that jaguars were spotted on the property during COVID when occupancy was way down. Don't worry though, they haven't seen them since then. And this property is always booked up, so that helps keep them away. Now there are several dining options. Rio Bongo for breakfast has casual bites, Chow Pascal for tapas and cocktails, and Ostra for upscale seafood. Mesa Restaurant is on the beach club, which had a lot of Mediterranean options. La Piazza is a pop-up Italian restaurant that serves pizzas and other Italian items and is only open on certain parts of the year. There's also Coffee and Vinyls, which is a specialty coffee shop. The dining options on resort are kind of pricey, but the food's decent. Not amazing, but decent. The great thing about the food on the resort is that kids 4 and under eat for free off of the kids menu, and children aged 5 to 11 can eat at a discount of 50% off, which is nice. My children enjoy the food, and there were lots of options, even for my 1-year-old to eat, like noodles, rice, meatballs, and other soft solids that I could easily cut up. The breakfast is complimentary for globalists and is an absolute highlight with local fruits, local cuisine, many fresh options to choose from, and also a kids section where you can find things like waffles, pancakes, and cereals. I ordered like 3 double cappuccinos with my breakfast each morning because I love coffee, and I never received a bill. They just thanked us for coming to breakfast and sent us on our way. You can pretty much order anything that you want on breakfast if you're a globalist. At check-in, they encourage us to have breakfast at Ostra for a more like personalized and upscale experience, but we didn't try it because we were happy with Rio Bongo, and we were traveling with a toddler and baby, so I prefer to keep it more casual since I know they're probably going to make a mess when eating and be loud at times. Rio Bongo is a buffet style, while Ostra is an order off the menu style restaurant. Rio Bongo also provided us with some great entertainment when the monkeys came down from the trees and were trying to steal food off of people's plates. Both my kids got a kick out of that, and so did I. It really reminds you that you're right in the middle of the jungle and makes the experience more authentic and real. The service at Andaz Papagayo is top tier, but in a laid-back Costa Rican way. Staff members remembered my name, accommodated small requests quickly, and were genuinely enthusiastic about making our stay memorable. This resort leans more towards boutique luxury. It doesn't feel crowded, and you'll rarely have to wait long for anything. It's the kind of place where time just slows down and you enjoy the views, the vibes, the beach, and nature. One thing about the property is that it's large and super hilly. So when traveling with a toddler and baby, that can be tough. But they have golf carts that pick you up and take you all over the resort, and they're quick. All we had to do to request a golf cart was get on WhatsApp, and they would come to your location and take you wherever you wanted to go. This was a huge hit with my 3-year-old, and she would hilariously try to hail the golf carts when she passed them. It was just so great, so cute. So now let's do a value analysis. Is it worth 40,000 points per night? When I stayed, it just cost me 29,000 Hyatt points per night. And I thought that that was a good deal, and I was happy that I locked that in before the price point increased twice now since then. The cash rate for our stay was $1,200 per night, so our 6-night stay would have cost $7,200, which is just insane. So 29,000 points per night was a steal in comparison. But now it's gone up to 40,000 points per night, putting in the same category as Park Hyatt Maldives, Alela Ventana Big Sur, or Grand Hyatt Kauai. So is the Andaz Papagayo worth 40,000 points a night? I think that depends. I do think it's a lot of points and it's probably overpriced at that point. But if you look at the cost per night in cash, you're still getting 2+ cents per point when redeeming at this property because the cash prices are so elevated. So I can understand why they increased the price point because of that, even though I do think it's too much. That being said, if you've never been to this property before, it might be worth it because the property is beautiful and you get incredible experience, like the design, the views, the wildlife, the service. It's all very memorable and it's unique. And you don't have to stay for a full week just to get a taste of it. One strategy is to make it part of a larger Costa Rican itinerary, and you can save some points. So spend a few days in Reno, Monteverde, La Fortuna, or whatever, and then begin or end your trip with 2 to 4 nights at the Andaz. We stayed at the Andaz for 6 nights, and while it was amazing, next time we probably do 3 or 4 nights and pair it with another destination in Costa Rica just to stretch out our points farther. So yes, 40,000 points is a lot. But if you've never been, in my opinion, if you have some Hyatt points to spend, it is a powerful way to start or end a Costa Rican adventure. And if you plan it right, it can still be one of your most rewarding Hyatt redemptions because you're still getting a good cents per point value due to the high cash prices. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for all things points and miles travel. See you in the next one.